So hello, well today I'd like to take a look at a very kind gift that was sent to me. As everyone probably knows, I really enjoy collecting militaria, and I think that the 1968 DPM is just awesome. The only thing is it means like a badger's bottom, so you have to wash them, don't you? They're very thick and they take about 10 years to dry, so that's why I have to stick the old Thermomet boiler on, yeah, at 58 Celsius I think so. I think that'll do. Oh, look at that, Bluebell Alley. and then obviously today I was delighted because, well, there's Jimmy. There's Timbers. But today I was delighted because the seller that I've been buying off for years, I'll just remove the remote controllers onto the shelf. But today, inside the folds of the jacket, as it were, I found this as a free gift, and I think it's absolutely awesome. Because I think that Queen Elizabeth was absolutely awesome. Well, the second anyway. The first one was awesome as well, probably. I don't know. I've never met her. I never met Queen Elizabeth II. I don't know where I'm going with this. But a fantastic free gift, Broken Arrow. Thank you so much, sir, because this really is something rather special. That's a fact. And yes, God save the Queen. God save the King. Yeah, it's the King Charles III now, isn't it? Farewell to our Commander-in-Chief. What an item! What a wonderful magazine to have, and I'm so grateful for it. I really am. I really am. She did unite nations, and there's her sons there. You know, for all the things she did, there must have been so much stress, for heaven's sake. You know, everyone just assumes that the Queen sort of just sits on the throne and just like does nothing all day. No. There she is. Everywhere. She was everywhere like a butterfly on a bush of beauty. And no, I'm so grateful for this. Really kind of you to send this. Thank you so much. And it's got a great history. I'm going to thoroughly pour through this and enjoy it every second. Yes, she was in the ATS, wasn't she? She was the Army Auxiliary Territorial Service during the Second World War. She didn't just sit on her throne. She was driving trucks. I was going to say... But then that was an old joke when we were kids at school. But for crying out loud, you know where I'm going with that one at the start of it. But... the Queen's sense of duty is yes. She was an amazing woman, and I bet there's so many stories about her out there somewhere. I bet you everyone has a story about her. That's a fact. And everyone just seemed to be laughing whenever they met her. So she must have had a wicked sense of humour. And she had a wicked set of teeth. I wish I had those teeth. I tell you, mine are in a glass at night now. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, what's going on? And I'm not even half her. I'm not even half her age. That looks great. Guards. I can't see from here which guards they are. Trooping with a colour. Fantastic. You can tell which guards are which by the button layouts, and that's all good. King's Horse Troop, yep. Remember that. No, what was that? I don't know. In 1981. I must have blocked that one out, to be honest with you. Lance Corporal Galloway of the Scots Guards standing to attention, and something obviously went wrong. Nearly unmounted the Queen, sort of thing, which wouldn't have been good, would it? Let's face it. But having said that, she was the most remarkable lady on the planet. I totally agree, mate. Isn't it? Few people could say this. Few countries could say the same. Is all I can say. And she had all sorts of heroes working for her as well in the army. In the military, in the army, in the navy, in the air force, in the skies, on the sea. It was like the old never we owed so much to so few. You know, as the RAF. You know, never forget them. I don't, anyway. But this is an amazing gift. Thank you so much. I won't mention your real name, Broken Arrow, because obviously you might not want me to. But ultimately, are they Gurkhas? I do believe they are. Yes, they're the Queen's Gurkha Engineers, and there's a new Gurkha Guards regiment that's been introduced now, which is awesome because the Gurkhas have done so much for well, I'll say it, my country, and they are darn heroes. They're wonderful people, absolutely wonderful, brave. The bravest of the brave. They're the ones that carry the big knives, so be very careful unless you want them to cut your edges down, innit? Then they'll probably do, well, that looks interesting. That looks awesome. I do enjoy that does not look awesome, obviously. Yeah, trouble when you're in the army is that you tend to get killed if you're in a war sort of thing. But I think this is something different. An exemplary final act of service as the Commander-in-Chief is laid to rest. So that'll be the Queen, won't it? Hang on, let me get my head round it, because I'm as dumb as a box of rocks me nowadays these days. Yes, that's her, I think. Yes, that's her. That's the Queen, in Queen Elizabeth II in her coffin. Bless her. Bless you, lady. Well, she's a queen, not a lady. It's amazing, and obviously there's reflections from various different officers and non-commissioned officers that knew her and came across her, which I imagine there were many. I imagine there were many. Wonderful, and such a lovely thing. Windsor Castle, I recognise that instantly, because my grandma used to take me there to watch the changing of the guards. And it wasn't like Alice at Buckingham Palace either. It was me at the Windsor. It was me at Windsor Castle, innit? And it was near Slough. My grandma came from a working class background, and she lived in Slough. And so but she made any spare pennies she had. We used to travel on the double-decker bus over to Windsor when I was about 6. Now we are 6. You know, AA Milne time. Look it up. It's great. But I do love these ceremonial uniforms, I must say. I have a few, but I've got to stop collecting now. And also, I've if anyone's wondering, I've taken down my military channel because it got too much grief. There was just too many people going Nala on it. I just thought, no, I'm not doing it for that. I'm just having fun. So shut up, as Winston Davies would have said, you know. Shut up, shut up! I just thought, no, I've had enough of it. I can't take the stress because I'm not into that sort of thing. I just rather have a fun channel. But this is wonderful. This is an absolute wonderful magazine. Look at that. Hey, look at that. The Queen's Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. Oosh. Yes. And never ask them what they're wearing under their sporran, because you might get an eye-watering experience if you're a lady. These are all the colour sergeants with the sashes on there. They'll be the colour sergeants. And it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And look at the faces. Look at how determined they are. I tell you, Christ, I would not want to face any of these lads on the battlefield. That's a fact. They must be as tough as old boots. Nations united. She was always highly respected in Ghana, and coming to serve was the best thing I ever did. What a lovely thing to say, Lance Corporal Victor. What's his name? Ahavyod. What a lovely thing to say, sir. Well done to you for joining and being a Lance Corporal, because that's pretty impressive. You're in charge of about I think it's a group of about 8 men, and you're training them up to be corporals, who later become sergeants, who later become colour sergeants. It's like a snowball effect, and it's usually the younger NCOs that are the ones that are most motivational, because otherwise people just leave and think, sod it, I'm off, innit? Look at that. Wonderful. Wonderful. Gosh, I'd love to get my hands on that medal collection. But as I say, I'm stopping collecting now because I can't. The roof is just collapsing in with it all, and my my sort of status, let's put it that way, in this country where I am now. I don't know what's going on from one day to another, so I'm not that going to be that, you know. Oh, I'll leave it there. I'm not collecting anything else. Fantastic. Royal Military Academy of Sandhurst, where the officers train at Sandhurst, obviously. Look at that. That's awesome. The regalia is just absolutely awesome. King Charles III. Well done, sir. Hats off. Long live the king. Long live you, Sir Charles. And he was a para. That's the funniest thing for me, was that he was actually a tough nut. Para. And some people have suggested in previous videos that I made, oh no, he wasn't a para. He's just been given those badges. No, he was a paratrooper, and he jumped out of an aircraft many times, and he nearly died on one of them. He got his feet tangled up in the webbing, and he was spinning around like a twat. And if it wasn't for the fact that he could understand how it all worked, because he was a para, he would be dead by now. So minky up to your bums. The ones that always said those sorts of comments and said, oh, you know, he never knew what he was doing, or something else of equal nastiness. Go Foxtrot Oscar, I think the police would say. Ah, there you go. Now I'm getting grumpy neat. But no, he was most certainly a para, not an honorary para at all. So there you go. There's the Queen. Look at the effects she has on the lovely little children of today. How they all just beam at her. She must have been a wonderful person, to meet. I never met her, unfortunately. I never met any of the royal family, in actual fact. It's funny because I worked on her castle in Windsor as a roofer. Seeing the Queen for the first time in person was something special for me. Her presence brought a lot of comfort to us. Staff Sergeant Yerrell Murray, Royal Logistical Corps. What a lovely comment to say. What a lovely comment to say. And yeah, I worked on her stables. In actual fact, I wasn't good enough to be on the main. No, actually, I did the tower as well. I was up the tower as well, innit? But not like you think. I wasn't in the tower. I was on the tower doing the roof. But if you've ever been to Windsor Castle, you'll realise that tower is about half a kilometre high. So that was quite an adrenaline buzz for me. Lest we forget, I absolutely, totally agree with you. That the cenotaph, I presume that is, I don't know. What do I know? As I say, I'm a pretty... My brain, have you ever watched an ice cube just dissolving in a bath of hot water? That's pretty much like what my brain does. The Remembrance Sunday at the cenotaph. It is the cenotaph, so some things I remember. That's an iconic photo. And I presume they're the poppies. That was my dad's favourite moment from the Wizard of Oz, where the witch goes, poppies, poppies, sleep, sleep. So I hope, dear lady, that you are sleeping well right now. Rest in peace, sweetheart. All the very best to you. Wow. And the speeches, well, I'll miss them because they were fun, I can tell you. Yep. Pretty much let you read that for yourself. There you go. Awesome. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody else. That's Jimmy. Jimmy's sound out, and he does this sort of twitchy breath thing now. I think I've probably fed him too much. He's struggling to breathe through his diaphragm. Bless him, I hope not, because if he goes, that'll be the end of that for me. I'll be out of here like a rocket, mate, innit? Anyway, cheers.